Hello everyone, I'm Sharpedo43 once again, bringing you all a Wi-Fi battle in the OU tier. My opponent is going to be Neos from Discord, and I'm going to be using a completely new team. It's actually going to consist of Sharpedo as usual. Well, not as usual, but you know, this team in the OU tier is going to consist of Sharpedo, and as you can see, it's a very new team, because this team actually not only carries the tryhardedness that is Landorus-T, but is also carrying the tryhardedness that is the freaking Toxapex. Now, Toxapex is a Pokemon that I hate so much, but I mean, I only use this team because it has Sharpedo in it. And if someone put Toxapex in that team, it's probably because it's a good team or something. So yeah, and thankfully this Toxapex isn't necessarily like the stalliest of Toxapexes. So I figured, yeah, I think this is all right then. I just don't like Toxapex though, especially given how it's designed to be annoying and whatnot. So yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna lead off with Tapu Lele here. He's going to lead off with Metagross. Now, this is a Pokemon I wasn't expecting necessarily in the OU tier, so I honestly was kind of afraid what to expect. But the fact that he led with this thing pretty much meant that he anticipated my Tapu Lele lead, which is unfortunate. And here I decided to switch out. He's actually going to double and go straight into Charizard, actually Charizard, because I never knew, I never actually found out whether this Charizard was actually Charizard X or Y. So yeah, so here I went for the hidden power. Actually, he didn't double switch, by the way. He actually just switched out. I don't know. He switched out. He led with Metagross and switched out. He went into Charizard. I went for hidden power fire. He expected that, which is probably why he went into Charizard. But then here he expected me to switch out yet again and went into Landorus-T. I went into Landorus-T myself, and I just wanted to get the rocks up, so I just went for it. And then here he goes for hidden power ice. I go for hidden power ice myself afterwards. I was afraid of a potential speed tie here, but I figured, you know what, let's just go offensive in case he tries to get his rocks up as well. And I did quite an amount of damage to the Landorus-T, which means now he's gonna not go for Stealth Rocks, thankfully. He's actually gonna end up going for U-turn instead, and this is gonna cause him to go into Tangrowth. Now here, I decided to go for my own U-turn. Since I already got the rocks up, I don't feel any need to keep Landorus here against this Tangrowth, because Tangrowth doesn't really match up well with Landorus-T, especially because Landorus-T can only U-turn it. Everything else kind of doesn't do much to Tangrowth. So I'm going to U-turn. I'm going to go into Ferrothorn. Honestly, this was probably a debatable play because most Tangrowths carry hidden power fire. But in my case here, I was just kind of hoping he wouldn't have hidden power fire. But unfortunately he does, as you can see right here. He goes for it, but what I did here myself was actually try to go for Leech Seed, because I thought he would maybe want to switch out fearing the knockoff. Because believe it or not, some Ferrothorns carry knockoff. So here, I'm going to be switching out because I don't want to have to take another hidden power fire. He actually does predict this switch and go straight for the knockoff, which does kind of suck because now my Tapu Lele doesn't have choice specs anymore, and now it's not going to hit as hard as I would like it anymore. Now here, I expected him to switch out into Mantine. But Metagross, because it resists all the moves that Tapu Lele has. But he actually ends up going into Mantine. And this Psychic, well, not Specs, still does quite an amount to a Spadef invested Mantine. So I just go for another Psychic. He does not switch out yet again. I guess he's afraid of the possible prediction into Metagross with hidden power fire. I don't know if this Metagross is Spadef invested or a Soul Vest or anything like that. But I just went for Psychic nonetheless because it's in Psychic terrain. I figure abuse the Psychic terrain while it's still up, you know. So I go straight into the into Ferrothorn, and he actually surprises me with an agility. I was like, ugh. Now here I gotta hope he doesn't have something like Hammer Arm for my Ferrothorn. And seeing how he went straight for the Zen Headbutt over anything else tells me that probably that's the case, that he doesn't have Hammer Arm. Because if he did, he probably would have gone for it right there. Would have been the good time. He would have been at -1 speed. Or not -1 speed. He would have lost 1 stage of speed, meaning he would still have +1 speed, but it would have taken out the Ferrothorn at least. As a result, here he just gets Leech Seeded, which is actually what I needed on the off chance he did not have Hammer Arm, because now I can send in Toxapex here and not worry about losing it right away. He's gonna go for Zen Headbutt right here, which does miss. I think this miss only matters in the sense that it could probably alter my plays with Toxapex, but I don't think it's game breaking in all honesty. Because it's a Toxapex. It'll take a lot of damage, sure, but I can just switch out over and over again and get all my HP back, like almost flawlessly. Like I almost don't even need to use Recover with this Toxapex, which is kind of crazy. So here he goes for it again, as I went for, I don't think I went for Toxapex. I went for Scald, getting the burn, hoping for the burn, and thankfully I do. he stayed in, as you guys saw, because he went for Zen Headbutt before I went for Scald. And now here I'm gonna, I think here I think I went for more Scalds. No, I don't remember what I went for here. No, I think here I went for Sharpedo. I switched into Sharpedo, which was a risky play, because if he had Thunder Punch, that could have also been dangerous. But I don't think he had it, honestly, because if he did, he probably would have gone for it. But here I went to Sharpedo, and he actually ends up switching into Landorus-T, and I was like, oh. So here I just go for the Ice Fang. Seeing how it had leftovers told me that maybe it was a defensive Landorus, which my Sharpedo can outspeed, so I didn't have to worry about going for Protect here. So I went for Ice Fang here, and it takes out the Landorus-T, which is good. So now here I'm just going to, well, he's going to go into Tangrowth, and I'm going to switch out because I don't want to leave Sharpedo on a Tangrowth when it hasn't taken enough damage, in my opinion. So I'm going to hard switch into Tapu Lele. This was probably a mistake. In fact, I think the switch was to go to Toxapex, but I honestly did not want to drag the battle out with Toxapex because that's not my playstyle, in all honesty. So here I'm going to go for Psychic. He predicts my switch, goes for Giga Drain. And I'm just going to go for Psychic. It does quite an amount. This Tangrowth, fun fact, is actually a Assault Vested one. So for an Assault Vested Tangrowth, this did quite an amount of damage. He is able to take out my Tapu Lele with another Giga Drain, which is kind of unfortunate. I'm actually surprised how, despite how defensive this thing is, it's still somehow doing a lot of damage with Giga Drain. I honestly don't know what its attack is, but it's doing quite an amount, in all honesty. Like, it surprises me every time. But anyways, here I go into Landorus-T just to spam U-turn, just to damage the or just to cripple the Tangrowth even more. But instead what he's gonna do is actually sack the Metagross, which is like, oh, okay. So here I'm gonna go into Sharpedo because he has the switch advantage now because he sacked Metagross. So I decided, you know what, let's just go into Sharpedo, because if I send anything else, I think everything else just kind of gets destroyed. So I decided to go into Sharpedo. He does go into Tangrowth, which now forces me to switch into Landorus again. I was hoping he would not predict the switch, but he ends up going for the Giga Drain, which is not a prediction, but he actually just you know, went for the damage. I went into Landorus on the off chance he tries to go for knockoff again. I didn't mind this thing losing its leftovers, but since he didn't go for it, I just decided, you know what, let's just go for another U-turn. The Intimidate on this Landorus is actually kind of helpful though, because now I can go into Toxapex, and on the off chance it has Earthquake, I can just it won't do a lot to Toxapex, despite it being super effective. Because this Tangrowth does way too much damage despite it being a defensive variant, which is kind of crazy. But yeah. So here he ends up going for another Giga Drain, and then he goes for knockoff. I was fine with that. Here I just go for a couple of Scalds because I wanted to see if I can get the burn on this Tangrowth, because that would help me wither this Tangrowth down even quicker. Unfortunately, I did not get it. He does go for the Earthquake here now. I guess he forgot that I got the Intimidate off with Landorus-T, which is fine with me, because now this allows me to get some Toxic Spikes off. And I am convinced that this Earthquake is not going to KO my Toxapex, so I stay in and just go straight for the Recover. He's going to go for Giga Drain though, just to get his HP back. I'm fine with that, because he can't get his HP back forever. So I just went for a Recover here. And then I think after this I kind of went for more Scalds, because the reason why I kept going for Scalds was not only to get the burn on this Tangrowth, but also on the off chance he tries to switch out, anticipating me to go for more Recover, seeing how I'm getting kind of withered down real quick. So yeah, I'm just going for more Scalds here. I think here's where he finally decides to switch out, and he goes into Tapu Koko, which I think this is where he actually anticipates me going for Recover here. The good news about this though is that he now takes Rocks damage and he takes Toxic Spikes damage, which is really useful, because this Tapu Koko, the fact that he never took any damage and is now taking it with thanks to Rocks and Toxic Spikes is really going to help my Sharpedo finish it off later in the end without having to worry about protecting or anything like that. Now here I had to make a risky play. I was planning on sacking Landorus here on the off chance that this Tapu Koko doesn't turn out to be like a choice variant, but he goes for Thunderbolt here, and I do go for U-turn on the off chance this is a choice Tapu Koko. And seeing how he ends up switching out right here tells me that yeah, it's probably a choice Tapu Koko. So I go for the U-turn like I wanted to, and he's gonna go into Charizard, which is gonna take a lot of Rocks damage. And I think here's where I decide to go into, I think Sharpedo. I think it's Sharpedo. No, I actually go into Kartana actually, because seeing how the Charizard is now weakened enough, I can just go into Kartana and go for knockoff. He switches out, and he has no Rapid Spinner or Defogger now, so now I can just go for the what's it called? The knockoff here. Or he's gonna go into Tangrowth. I knock off its Assault Vest for whatever it's worth, because now I don't think I have any good special attacker anyway. So now what I want to do is just switch out Kartana, leave it in case I need it for Tapu Koko, which hasn't taken enough damage in all honesty. So, and I'm just gonna go into Landorus in case he tries to go for Hidden Power Fire. He actually, I think he does predict me and goes for the Giga Drain. So I'm gonna lose Landorus, which is unfortunate. But now I'm gonna be able to go into, I think here's where I decide to go into Sharpedo. And now what I'm gonna do here is go for, I think the Protect. Yeah, I do go for Protect here. But he's actually gonna switch out just to get the Regenerator back. And he's gonna sack Charizard. So he sacked Charizard so that he can get the Regenerator back with his Tangrowth, because he feels that the Tangrowth is probably the only thing that can take a hit from Sharpedo at this point. Probably hoping that I don't carry Ice Fang on the Sharpedo. But unfortunately for him, I actually do carry the Ice Fang. And I do go for Protect right here because the reason is that this is a Tangrowth, and Tangrowths are typically bulky, especially on the physical side. So what I wanted to do here was just get some poison damage from the Toxic Spikes, just to get more damage off. And then here's where I decide to go for the Ice Fang. If he KOs my Sharpedo, I think my Kartana will be able to take it out with Smart Strike. So, because what's he gonna do? Switch out. And on top of that, it's poison. It can't recover forever, so I'd be good for that. So what he's gonna do here now is actually, or I'm gonna just go for this Ice Fang, like I said. And his last Pokemon is just gonna be Tapu Koko, which, thanks to Rocks and the fact that it's already poisoned, allows me to just go for another. Actually, I go for Psychic Fangs this time because it does more damage than Ice Fang, and it won't miss. So I definitely went for that. I didn't go for Protect, getting more poison damage on this, just because even if I lose Sharpedo right here, my Kartana can just finish it off anyways. And I didn't want to like drag the battle more than necessary, so I just decided to go for Psychic Fangs. If it doesn't KO, just finish it off with Kartana. But thankfully, this battle ends up being finished off by Sharpedo, which is probably what I like about this battle. This battle is pretty cool one because my Sharpedo did a lot more than I expected in an OU battle. It KO'd 3 Pokemon. It KO'd the Landorus-T, it KO'd the Tapu Koko, and it KO'd the Tangrowth. 3 Pokemon that I usually don't expect Sharpedo to just take out just like that, in all honesty. Especially because Landorus-T has that, you know, that switch advantage usually, in the sense that it can pivot, or like every time Sharpedo faces Landorus-T, it's usually on switch-in, which gives it the Intimidate, which nerfs its attack, or on a predicted switch, and it goes for U-turn. So like those are the only times Sharpedo ever faces Landorus-T. But in this case, Sharpedo was able to do a little bit more, which, you know, allowed it to actually do more in the battle, which is actually really, really amazing. That's what I liked about this battle. I thought this battle was pretty cool, just because Sharpedo got to do something. This team is also, it's pretty okay. I don't think it's terrible. The Toxapex is a little annoying, but I mean, it kind of helps Sharpedo in the long run. I guess that was why they put Toxapex in the first place. But yeah, anyways, good game, and thank you for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next battle, but for now, just take it easy.